Hello and welcome to another episode of the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast. This is episode 41. In this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Ryan Cross from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and gun enthusiasts. Bandwidth for this episode is brought to you by Action Target. And today I have with me once again a listener who joined us a couple episodes ago, and he was brave enough to come back. Welcome, Glenn Jerome. Hey man, thanks for joining me again.
It's my pleasure.
So what'd you do in guns this week?
Nothing this week. I was on vacation in Colorado. I carried, obviously, but didn't have to, draw down on any liberal hippies. So it was actually a really good time. Everyone was really nice and had a wonderful time in the Rockies.
Awesome. Which part of Colorado? Which socioeconomic hemisphere?
Well, we started in up around Montrose and went to Ouray and Telluride and Durango is where we ended up, or we ended before we went and stayed in Albuquerque, the Kirk, before we came back home.
I don't know enough about Colorado, but those all sound like good areas to be in.
Yeah, Southwest. It's not very close to Denver or any of that, so it was awesome.
Yeah, farther from Denver you are, the better.
Agreed.
So let's get into, actually, what I did in guns, I've been building a 300 Blackout pistol, so I'm working on getting all my parts in from Brownells, pistol gas tubes, and, the pistol recoil buffer and buffer tube and all that, and then kind of doing the switcheroo on some handguards and receivers, trying to figure out, what extra parts I have that I could get rid of and pay for some other things in my life right now. But other than that, I did not shoot anything necessarily. But it's kind of a little warm. It's a little smoky still. But I did go to the range last weekend. And it was pretty good. I've been working on some subsonic 308 loads, and I found that the pointed 208 grain boat tail hollow points, they're kind of got more of a traditional profile of a bullet, real pointy. They don't group for crap out of my gun, but the big ol' honkin' 220 grain torpedo round nose from Hornady, those group like magic, going at slower speeds. So everything was sub-MOA. I was surprised. So that's going to be my my subsonic load, so I get to start working on that more. But good times. Let's get right into the announcements. Of course, we're always looking for guests to come on the show, listeners, just like Glenn here. This is the second time on the show, and we really appreciate it. So if you have a product that you want to talk about on the air, just give me an email and we can work that out. Or if you have a product that you want to suggest we talk about on the air that we haven't covered, that's been kind of recent within the last year, you can send us an email as well, and we'll try and bring that up on the next show. So you can email myself at cross@firearmsradio.tv for that. Let's talk about the giveaway that we have going on. It's the Glock Tech MIC holster with VersaCord. So TJ brought this on the last episode. It fits all small frame Glock pistols, so 9, 40, and 357 SIG. It just slides right over the trigger guard. It's a Kydex, and it's got a lanyard attached to it. So you loop the lanyard around your belt, and then you slide this over your trigger guard, and then kind of stuff it inside the waistband. So it's a truly no-bulk holster. You can put your shirt over it and whatnot. And then when you go to draw your pistol, it's actually really conducive to a fast and unhindered draw, because you pull and that cord, once you stretch it all the way out, it provides you the it yanks that kydex right out of the way. So you don't have to worry about really drawing right from your hip in a certain direction to free it from kydex. You can pull it back, up, forward, um, and then the cord just kind of pulls the kydex right out of the way. But there's enough retention to if you pull it out of your waistband and let go, it's not going to pop off and you drop your pistol on the ground. So it's actually pretty cool. We're hoping to get a video up of it here shortly and of see how it's in use. I think you guys would be pretty interested to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
So it retails for $20.95, and we're giving it away for free. All you have to do is leave us an iTunes review of this podcast and send me your name and your iTunes username and then your shipping address, and you'll be entered. So the cutoff for entries is August 26th, and the winner will be announced on August 28th. So, and if you're interested in finding out more, if you go to www.glocktech.com, you'll see more about that holster. So let's get into the new product spotlight. I got a couple. I've got 3 pieces of just strictly firearms, so not really covering much gear in the product spotlight this episode. And the first one is really cool. It's the 6.5 Grendel AR. They call it the 6.5 Grendel Hunter, and it's from Alexander Arms. What do you think about this, Glenn?
It looks really awesome. That's a really nice paint job it's got on it. It's got the is that a Magpul grip on it?
The forearm, the forend?
No, the actual pistol grip.
Oh, yeah, I think it's just an ergo grip.
That's nice.
Company Ergo. Yeah, they're really nice and kind of feel like they mold to your hand. The camo pattern, it's been hydrocoated and cryptic, so it's got kind of like a really nice high-tech polygonal patterns in there. But as far as the coloring go, it's kind of desert brush kind of. The barrel is it's fluted and threaded and chambered in 6.5 Grendel, and so that's a round that Alexander, the owner, Bill Alexander, developed to kind of be the ultimate AR-15 round that takes advantage of all the size limitations you have with the magazine and the magwell and the whole platform. He kind of just took pen to paper and started drawing up specifications for a round that would just take the most out of what you're given in that platform. And so it's the 6.5 Grendel is an awesome round, really known for its accuracy and high ballistic coefficient. And so the accuracy out of the box is really good, even with factory ammo. And if you get into hand loading, from everything that I've read, it's really amazing. Everything from 100 grain ballistic tips from Nosler to 130 grain Sierra Game Kings, and then everything in the middle with 120 grain, 123, 125. But I mean, holes within holes. It's really known for a really accurate caliber, and this rifle platform is built around it. And I think to me, this is like the ultimate hunting AR that I've seen. I know Remington had their R15 and their R25, which kind of were good rifles, but I think this would blow either one of them out of the water as far as looks concerned. It looks way more modern than the pattern that those have, but
Absolutely.
the caliber itself would kind of bend over and spank 223, and then it would give 308 for its money as far as long range shooting goes.
Yeah, it's pretty good ballistic coefficients. It's like actually really good ballistic coefficients.
Yeah, well, those 6.5 millimeter bullets are just kind of like the hot commodity right now. I mean, 30 cal is got availability, but if you really want to, the best performance, you're going to want to go for a 6 or 6.5 mil caliber. So the The price that we're looking at is $1,750, so $1,750. But this rifle, I wouldn't be really tempted to add anything on it. It comes pretty complete. I mean, you'll want to put a bipod on there probably if you're going to do a lot of shooting prone or from the bench. A scope, obviously, and then maybe some backup iron sights just in case something happens to your scope. You're out on a deer hunt and something. You drop your rifle, something happens to your scope, and you want to just take that off and use your irons. That would be a good thing to add. But everything else, man, I like it. It's like keep it simple, stupid. It's awesome. It's got a 6-position stock. The trigger is skeletonized, and it's a 5.4-pound pull. It's got a free-floated barrel, of course. It's pretty much standard now. So it's just a solid free-float tube. That looks, really nice and clean. It's got rails in the front of it. It's got screws installed to add rail sections or move them around as you see fit. So you can have a little piece of rail on the top for your front sight, or if you want to just run maybe a GoPro camera or a flashlight, or a Picatinny mounted bipod, you can put that on the bottom. But no extra flash, no extra bells and whistles. This seems like a really reliable and simple platform. And the benefit of not having all these extra stuff on it is that the weight, it's actually only 6.6 pounds empty. So that's, as far as a hunting capable AR-15 with an 18-inch barrel, that's pretty light.
Yeah, it's really nice too. It looks like it has a thread protector on the end of the barrel if you wanted to put a suppressor on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice too.
Yeah, I would be curious how, say, like a 30 cal suppressor would affect the grouping of the round. Typically it kind of spreads the groups out a little bit, but since this round is so freaking laser accurate to begin with, I'd be interested to find that out. So this is cool. So I read all about it in an article on Shooting Times that just came out, and they've done a couple articles on the 6.5 and how the military should switch to it and how it's so great. But this rifle and some of the authors' shooting groups are just really good. I mean, you cannot complain at all with his groups. I mean, there's like a 5-shot group that's just one ragged hole. So you guys want to check that out? You go to Alexander Arms' website, and I actually had to go to shopalexanderarms.com was the URL, and then I just looked up the 6.5 Grendel rifles and then the Hunter model. So
yeah, they're additional magazines, or what we would consider standard capacity, but they're called their high capacity. They're actually really affordable, as many as 26 rounds for a larger 30 caliber, bullet, and they're only $17.95. That's really pretty good.
Yeah. The only thing is, it says that the muzzle threading is 9 by 16 by 24, and that's, I don't know, that's atypical to me. I don't know whether if that caliber is, or maybe that's kind of more of a proprietary threading to some of their muzzle devices they offer. I would have thought it would be either 1/2 or 5/8, but so I'd have to get an adapter to put any of my stuff on there. Really nice looking rifle. I mean, you guys need to see pictures of it to really understand. I mean, it makes me want to sell 2 AR-15s, 223, just to be able to afford this, because I'm really interested in the performance of the round and just having a simple AR that is perfect. You don't want to add anything really to it. It would not sit in the safe, that's for sure. It would get a lot of use.
Yeah, it would be the go-to.
Yeah. So next up, we got a pistol from Springfield Armory. They actually have taken their range officer and made it into a compact and added some pretty some match features that kind of make it really special. Or just not. I mean, they're not brand new to the 1911 market. I mean, what is? But in a compact model, having a bushingless barrel, matched barrel, and the sight setup, it's actually a really nice concealed carry capable 1911.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to Springfield's website, they have it just under their 1911 line, and you got to kind of scroll down. I don't really you can't really click on a caliber and check out like more details. It's just kind of a brief synopsis.
Yeah, it doesn't even give the barrel length on there.
No, it doesn't. I have that information, but basically it's the range officer is a compact that's been topped off with just a bunch of matched features. So it's got a trophy match or a quality forged national match frame, the same as the trophy match in the TRP. It's got the same national match stainless barrel, so it shoots really well, and it's got a fiber optic front sight and a low profile combat rear sight for maximum visibility. Beaver tail grip safety, extended lightweight trigger, flat mainspring housing. If you're looking for 1911, you can carry and then take to the range with you and shoot 45 really accurately, and you expect high accuracy out of your carry pistol. This would be it for you.
No doubt. I have the full size. It's pretty stunning. I love it. It actually shoots better than this is blasphemous, but it shoots better than my Colt. I think it's really just the sights. They're much more. It's got a little bit of a longer sight radius, so you get better target acquisition. But they're also adjustable.
Yeah.
Unlike my compact Colt 1911.
So that barrel length, I was trying to get that for you guys. It was also another article, I believe, from Guns and Ammo. Yeah, it's a nice looking pistol. I mean, you don't see a whole lot of 1911s that would be really comfortable to carry. I mean, it's a 4-inch, so you don't get as much as a sight radius as those 5-inch originals. But from what I'm reading, the trigger is very crisp, and the whole gun overall is just lightweight. Rounded edges. The hammer's just that skeletonized style. And the price is. Let me get that MSRP for you guys. It's lower than, I think it's like 900. It's in like the mid 900 range, so it's lower than say like the Wilson Combat market, but you're definitely getting quality that feels close in that range. So I would say bang for your buck is definitely present in this gun.
Yeah, I agree. The Springfields are really nice. They shoot, in my opinion, way, way better than a Kimber at a much better price point.
Yeah.
I've never had any issues with the Springfields, and I can't say the same about Kimbers.
Yeah, I've heard mixed results too. I don't think I've shot in any Springfield 1911s, and I know that's shocking. I need to get myself some culture and shoot some different brand guns, but
yeah, they're pretty sweet. I like them. I actually like their 1911s as much as any that I've shot, and I like them better than I do their polymer pistols. Not that I don't like them, but I really like their 1911s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you wanted to get, let's see, your options for carry of a 1911, I know like the Kimber carry ones. I mean, they're like really rounded. I mean, they almost start to look like Walthers at some point.
Yeah, they're pretty ugly.
Yeah, but this kind of remains true to the original design with just nice additional features that you don't typically see. When someone's trying to make a compact 1911, they just start chopping the barrel, chopping the slide, chopping the grip frame. But this actually has a lot of thought put into it. I especially like that match barrel, that bushingless barrel. So there is a double spring in there, and your recoil spring to make up for that. not having that recoil plug there, but I think it's really worth it, especially in the accuracy standpoint, because anyone that's competing with a 1911 and demands the highest accuracy, typically they have a bushingless barrel, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a nice feature that they added on there.
Yep.
So go on over to Springfield's website, check that out, www.springfield-armory.com. So the next product that we're talking about today was actually pretty recently released, and it's the Ruger LC9S. Ruger seems like they're taking a swing at reinventing the wheel, kind of almost literally, with their own product line, with the SR9 becoming the 9E, and them just almost listening to just the consumer feedback on, we don't like loaded chamber indicators that stick up, we don't like this, we don't like that. So they've actually redone the LC9 as a striker-fired pistol, which is pretty interesting. It gives it a safe action, much like a Springfield XD or a Glock, or any other striker-fired pistol that's got a safety mechanism on the trigger itself. One of the biggest complaints about the LC9s in general, as well as the 380s,
LCP.
LCP 380s, yeah, is that trigger pull was just long, and I mean you could write a letter to your grandmother by the time you finish pulling that trigger, but
It's almost in line with the Kel-Tec. Almost, not bad, not quite though.
yeah, I mean I've wanted to, because it sucks because they're so affordable, like, especially right around the holidays when they go on sale. And it just seems like most husbands and boyfriends, and even sons or daughters end up buying their loved one of these for Christmas, but you don't end up like shooting it yourself because you're like, oh yeah, well that fits perfectly in your pocketbook or for your protection needs, but man, it's not really a pleasant range shooter.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so this is actually a nice design change that helps in that it's still, from what I've watched videos of somebody pulling the trigger, squeezing it all the way to the wall and then to the brake, and it's only about 30% shorter, which is like saying 30% shorter than a telephone pole. It's still pretty long, but it's a little better, and the reset is still pretty far out there too. So this is no pocket mouse precision plinker, but for concealed carrying and a little bit more, I guess, user friendliness, they've moved it to a striker fire, especially if you don't like having to worry about the hammer and then having that the decocker and all that. Good news is that it uses almost all of the same accessories for the the LC9. So the same magazines, the same holsters, the same accessories like Crimson Trace, lasers and such that go around the grip. All those are the same. It's just got a little bit of updated sights. Let's see, the sights are they're dovetailed into the slide. They're high visibility 3-dot sight system, so it's adjustable for windage in the rear sight. And it's blue alloyed steel barrel, and the slide itself is through hardened alloy steel. So it can still use the extended 9-round magazines that everyone likes to use instead of the 7-round magazines. It's still got the same awesome profile of being less than 1 inch. It's just slightly larger as far as 1 inch taller and 1 inch longer than the LCP, which is their compact. The checkered grip frame looks about the same. It does include a grip extension floor plate that can be added to the 7-round magazine just to get a little bit extra purchase with your pinky. And the safety is that the trigger safety, there's still a manual safety on there. I'm I think someone, I can't remember who, someone spoke to Ruger, I think at maybe SHOT Show or the NRA show, and they asked him, when are you going to release some pistols that don't have manual safeties on them? And they basically said, we don't plan on it. Safety, it's almost like if they add a manual safety, it's kind of like a reassurance, or we're or kind of a good, what do you call that? Like a public announcement, like, we care about safety, so we leave safeties on our pistols.
Yeah.
You can obviously care about safety, but you don't have to put an external safety. It's not like the literal transition. The shield just came out with no safety. That doesn't make it any less safe than the shield with the safety externally. It's all about this, folks, your trigger finger.
Yep.
But anyway, this comes with a soft case and only one magazine, but the regular LC9 magazines are plenty out there to find. So the suggested retail on this is $449, and that'll of course be a lot lower on the street, and especially around Christmas time. Have you
What do you think? What do you think it'll come in around? 365.
I mean, I've seen the regular LC9s for like 330, 320. I mean, I think maybe Black Friday Cabela's maybe 300. The first X many people to walk in the door, that kind of deal. Which is just, screaming good. I like to buy one of these actually for my sister. Once they, if they make them in the different frame colors, I think she'd really enjoy one. She hasn't gotten her first pistol yet. She just shoots most of mine, but I think this might be a good gift for her. Hope she doesn't listen to the show. Don't want to spoil Christmas for her. So yeah, check that out. Go to Ruger's website and look at under the LC9S. So next up, let's go into our sponsored products. As you know, our bandwidth sponsor is Action Target. And if you go to their website using one of our affiliate links, firearmsinsider.tv/Action Target, or any one of the banners on the websites, and then check out using the promo code Radio15, you get 15% off your order, which is pretty outstanding. And their steel is some of the best in the industry. So this week we're looking at the Rimfire Bullseye. It's just a round head plate that's a 12-inch diameter. And it's got a reactive hit zone in the middle. That's a different plate. So it's basically a 12-inch round donut with a core that's 4 inches, and comes with their awesome stands. It's the 1/4 inch AR500 armor steel, and they recommend that you only shoot it with 22 rimfire pistol only. Any steel that they have that they paint that blue color is kind of rimfire only. If you got this and you could possibly remove that and order a extra regular velocity. I think it's colored green, and replace that out if you want to shoot it with your 44 or your 9mm pistols, something with a lot more power behind it. So the MSRP on these is $179, and it's basically it's for trying to precision shoot, aim small, miss small, pretty much. These the Evil Roy target stands that come with it are really nice. They're easily portable, and they have a collapsible base that has like a carry handle built in. I have to do a review of mine here, but it's cool. You kind of just like lift up the head and the neck of the target, and it kind of unhinges it, and then you just kind of rotate it down, and it you can lift up 2 of the legs and kind of tuck the head, in, so you don't have to take the head off every time. And then you've got like a nice little carry handle. You can lift that thing up, set it in the trunk of your car or the bed of your truck, or move it to a different stage. It's pretty convenient. So it's 37 pounds altogether, and 4 feet tall. So there's no other options on increasing or decreasing the overall height. Um, so they recommend rimfire shooting distance of 10 plus yards.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. I'm on the website looking at it. It's a pretty neat innovation, like the way they have that card that sits in there, the plate basically.
Yeah, it's basically just, hangs downward with gravity, and the head plate itself is kind of at an angle so that your rounds all deflect downwards in a safe direction. But when you hit hit the center and you hit that plate, you get a more visible response. So I could see shooting this the longer ranges to get the most use out of it. I mean, it'll work great close range too. But if I had one, I'd be setting it up at 100, 200 yards, however far I wanted to push my 22.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, I mean, obviously you get the feedback, oh yeah, I hit the steel. But if you're really trying to drive that center, you can, visually see that in your scope, actually, flip up and flip back down. It's definitely a different sound too that you'll get familiar with. And then with the 22, you don't have the recoil to really throw off your line of sight, so you'll actually get to see that impact and be really fun, especially for newer shooters too. If you got kids or you're just getting somebody into shooting a 22 rifle, this would be an awesome target to have them shoot at.
I agree.
So if you want to check that out, go to store.actiontarget.com. Look at their steel targets, and then under the rimfire steel family. And don't forget to use that promo code radio15.
Their website's actually very user-friendly also.
Yes, it is. I do enjoy that a lot. And especially my job of putting together the show notes, it's really easy to find it if I want to focus on like a rimfire target or a steel target, or it only takes me a couple minutes to find something new to talk about on the show. So from a consumer standpoint, I'm sure it's very usable as well.
Yep.
So let's get into the main topic, the panel discussion of the reviews. And instead of me flapping my lips, I'm going to go ahead and let Glenn talk about his product today.
Okay, thank you. The product that I am reviewing this week, or I reviewed, is the MS Clean AR-15 cleaning kit, and the model I got was the standard kit, but I got it with Fire Clean. It's one of the options that you can choose, is you can choose between Fire Clean, Slip 2000, and Frog Lube whenever you purchase one. Typically when I go to the range, I have a bunch of different stuff with me, as I mentioned on the last episode, and I like to clean my guns before I leave the range, at least my AR-15. My pistols, I've got them Duracoated, so I'm not really that worried about. And I've got this case full of crap and all these cleaning rods and everything I take with me, so I want something that could be easily stowed away, yet hold all the necessary contents to clean my rifle when camping, hunting, or at the range. The MS Clean claim to fame is it provides the best AR-style cleaning kit on the market. That's what they claim. So the target market is, according to the website, it's really to put the best cleaning kit in the hands of our troops overseas and professional law enforcement, but it really is for anyone who shoots an AR-style rifle. The features and benefits of the product: it is a magazine-shaped cleaning kit. Everything you need to properly clean the AR platform rifle is contained within and typically can fit in any gear that you already have. It's targeting anybody that you already have pouches for magazines, etc. I've got a bunch of extra myself. It doesn't necessarily have to be on like your chest rig or a battle vest, what have you. It could go into an extra magazine holding device that you have on like a belt or something, and they didn't really necessarily want it to be something that would only fit in proprietary style pouches. The key features are anyone in the military or that has shot an AR rifle at any time, you have probably been issued or purchased a rifle cleaning kit in a soft pouch that was crushed or could be easily crushed in the field or at the range. a cheap bottle of CLP inside inevitably spilled over all over your gear, and you had to sleep in a sleeping bag covered in oil. I never had to do that, but I definitely understand that happens. I had to carry mine separately when I go to the range, or I did. So the inventors of the Miss Clean wanted to design a tough case that would contain all the items inside needed to clean your rifle within the cleaning kit. And another feature is it is necessary to have a set of steel cleaning rods that are strong enough to remove a stuck case and barrel obstructions that a pull-through cable or snake cannot remove. And I've actually experienced that once myself with a stuck case in one of my ARs, and all I had was my regular rods, and I bent the rod trying to remove I ended up getting the case out of the chamber, but I did bend my rod, and so I had to buy a new set of rods. And these are steel, and they're pretty awesome. They're very tough, and they are all held within the magazine-shaped case itself. The benefits, one of the benefits that I really liked is that everything's stored inside of it, like I've said a million times already. But you have your options of a few different CLPs. Like I said, you have the Frog Lube, the Slip 2000, and the Fire Clean. You can pick from whichever one you like the most, or you're going to pick one of them when you order it. You don't have to use them. You use whatever you want. Even if you wanted to use like rim oil, you could put the rim oil patches in there, or whatever you want to do. The other aesthetic options and finishes that are available, the website says that they plan to offer it in all colors of the tactical rainbow: flat, dark earth, olive, drab, black, and whatever colors that come out that people have to have. They plan to introduce red and first aid blowout kits, orange for survival and E&E kits, and light blue, which is military's inert color. They may eventually do pink, but never neon green, because they said, come on people, we are professionals and we're tired of zombie crap. The link to the product page is listed. It's www.mscleankits.com/FAQs.html. And what other people are saying? Well, there's a lot of different opinions about the Miss Clean cleaning kit, and most people loved it. They loved the fact that they could put it in an existing pouch that they had, or something on the gear they already have. And there were some haters who insisted they would accidentally stick it in their rifle, but they're clearly idiots because it won't fit in your rifle. It's pretty silly, like how heated people got over this topic. But I'm actually trying to get mine open right now. I've got mine pretty packed full.
It was weren't they handed down by the Almighty Divine to Peter Palma and then blessed by the Vatican Church? Isn't that the story?
It would appear that way. If you look on the MS Clean Kit's website, you'll actually see that the picture of the Divine One touching the MS Clean Kit, and it's a pretty entertaining website to say the least. I had my bore snake within mine to keep it from rattling around in my on my belt. I actually just have an extra mag pouch on my belt that I take to the range with me, and I just slide it in here, and that way it's always on me. I don't have to worry about setting it down somewhere. And it comes with a chamber brush right here. I've got a Fire Clean inside mine. I'm really impressed with that as well. And then here's this is the main component of the cleaning rod, and then these are steel. They're very tough steel cleaning rods. Then you also have your multi-purpose or multi-function brush right here, a pick right here. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's just a regular dental pick, and then your other barrel brush, and then the rest of the rods are contained within there, and it's all contained within this polymer, really, really strong case. If you go online, you can see people that attempt to and do eventually break it, but it does take a heck of a lot of effort. And one of the main gripes that people were talking about was the fact that it rattles, but I put my bore snake in there to keep it from rattling, and I like to have my bore snake with me. But this is really tough polymer, and I like it a lot. It's really lightweight and compact. It won't even fit inside of your rifle if you wanted to try. So don't worry about that. There are links to other reviews at recoilweb.com/MS Clean Magazine Shaped Cleaning Kit, and then the firearmblog.com, and you can read a copious amounts of hilarity. Some people hate it, some people love it. The MSRP on this is $39.99 at the MS Clean website, but I actually purchased mine for $36.99. The only place that I found that you can buy it is at Saints Tactical. Saints, SAINTSTACTICAL, saintstactical.net. I think they're perhaps the sole provider of them, or whatever retailer of them. And I got it for $36.99. And that's the only place I can find it. My rating is, my comments on it are, I love it. I can more easily carry all the necessary items with me whenever I feel like sticking it in my own, I can stick it wherever I want, because I don't care what people say. This is the best cleaning kit I have for any of my guns, and it's protected by a hard polymer case. It came with frog lube and fire clean. The reason for that is Saints Tactical guarantees 48-hour shipping from the time you order it, and unfortunately I was that one person who didn't have the best experience. I'm not going to dog them out, because the owner emailed me, told me what was going on. They were going through a transition and yada yada yada, but he did make up for it. He sent me extra fire clean and frog lube, and I was very thankful, because I like free stuff. It wasn't free, but I mean, I didn't pay for it. Saints Tactical was very professional, replied to my email quickly, sent me some freebies. Overall, I give it a 9, and I know that doesn't happen very often, but it's awesome. It's the best cleaning kit I have for any of one of my guns, and if I had one for all of my guns that was magazine shaped, it would be way easier to carry a cleaning kit to the range for all of my weapons or guns.
Yep. And if you operate with an AK, obviously you don't need a cleaning kit, because you don't want to clean the Russian magic out of it. You can still get one of these kits and just fill it up with Skittles or something, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and they've actually, most AKs have a cleaning kit contained within them, but you don't need to clean them, and that's correct.
Yeah, you just pour some vodka right down the barrel if you're worried about it.
Yeah, or some, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the action. Caracal style.
Crust, I hate crust. That's okay. AK doesn't mind. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
Yeah.
So yeah, sweet review. Thanks for doing that. I was actually interested in waiting for somebody to do a review on the air for the MS kit.
I love it. It's if I think after taxes and shipping, it's $41, and I bought 2 of them. And if I had a need for more, I would get them. If they had them for 1911s and long distance rifles, I'd get them.
Yeah. Well, see, now Peter Palma doesn't have an excuse to come on my show anymore. So I guess you did me a favor. Thanks.
I don't know. I think you'd probably get a lot of replays on it. Yeah. Jake might have a heart attack, but.
Oh man. Well, anyway, let's get into. I'll talk about my review. I'm actually reviewing the S-Tac shotgun cards. What they are. Let me hold up the Coyote Brown one so you can kind of see it a little bit better in the camera. What they are they're Velcro-backed shotgun cards. They're pretty flexible somewhat. And so you can build these up with 12-gauge shotgun shells and then stick them anywhere there's Velcro. So if you have a tactical vest, you can slap one of these right on in the Velcro part of your vest. Or, if you've got, you can put basically Velcro anywhere. So if you want to put Velcro right on the receiver of your shotgun or on the stock, you can do so. And the nice thing is that, this basically would take the place of a side saddle, except it's not permanent. So no permanent modifications to your shotgun. You don't have to take those receiver pins out and replace them with screws. And then you just get the loop side of the Velcro. I'm technically not supposed to say Velcro because I think that's actually a brand name, kind of like Kleenex. So hook and loop, but I'm just going to call it Velcro because I don't follow the rules. So this actually has the hook side on the back of them. This actually, it does not come with the other side of the Velcro equation, so you have to get that yourself. I don't know why they do that. I can make some estimation or some guesses why they do that. So basically, I went down to the craft store and picked up some Velcro in the strips. So just make sure that they fit the width, or you'll have to trim them. But the thing is, with the adhesive, you're going to want to kind of maybe do a little bit of testing to make sure that the whatever backing you get, whoever makes that Velcro with the adhesive backing to stick onto your stock or your receiver, that it's not going to damage your finish, or take off any of your bluing or your parkerization, or if you've got like a hydro dipped gun, you don't want that adhesive to take off that finish. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the review. Basically, these are offered by SKD Tactical. They've got lots of great stuff on their website. Check them out. It's available in a couple different colors. So you've got black, which I've actually got one here in black, and then you've got coyote brown. Then you've got ranger green, which is kind of like an abomination crossbreed between OD green and foliage green. I'm from the Magpul generation, so I have no idea how ranger green would match anything, but that's just a young person thing. They also have it in multicam camouflage, so if you're running multicam gear, these can actually match that pretty well. So the claim to fame is just shell carrier or side saddle, fits in an M4 mag pouch for quick changes. And that's basically its strengths. They're slim enough and cheap enough. They're only about $15 each. You can get enough of them to stuff in your mag pouches for your AR-15, your carbine magazine pouches, and then if you're competing, or you're a professional, or you're hunting, you could just stick one of these on your receiver, shoot your magazine tube empty, grab shells from this and reload, and then when you have a chance, just rip this off, and it actually has a little paracord rip loop right there. You just rip it off, slap a new one on that's already loaded up with shells, and then you're good to go. You can't do that with a permanent side saddle, a Tacstar plastic one, and then a Mesa Tactical, fully aluminum solid one-piece parkerized, over $100 expensive stuff that pretty much you put on your gun, and then it's going to be complicated to take it apart, or just you can't really do that in the field proficiently. This is just really modular and flexible and affordable. I mean, $15 for one. It seems like a lot for this. You got to realize the stitching, the time it takes to make them. They do have a rubber strip going right down the back on the inside of these loops, these elastic loops. So that helped provide friction for shotgun shells. I know when they were first making these, people were complaining that if they loaded them up with 12 gauge, the elastic would kind of wear over time and no longer hold the shells anymore. So the negative reviews that you find are, oh, it dropped my shells. Hopefully they weren't using 20 gauge. It will hold the 20 gauge if they're fairly brand new. If you've got one that you've used and have stuffed and constantly loading and unloading the 12 gauge shells out of these elastic loops, they will start to stretch out and they won't hold 20 gauge shells as reliably. But I keep one kind of still virgin that I can put on 20 gauge shells and if I need them to. So one of the reviews say they saw these on YouTube and had to try them, bought two, and they are exactly what I need. Have 7 rounds on the side and can have 7 more of a different type of round ready to change out. The hassle of unloading the side saddle and then reloading is gone. Just tear off the card and put a new one on. These cards fit perfectly inside an AR style mag pouch, so you can carry as many as you have room for. Can't wait to get more. and that's from Brian from Altamont, Illinois, and that was on the SKD tag website. So that's actually a really good point, is you get a couple different colors, so you can help kind of just from visually identify which ones are different. Load one up with birdshot, one up with buckshot, one up with slugs. And so that kind of makes it nice if you're actually doing something where you need all three different kinds of rounds. You can just, keep track of which ones you need. If you're shooting a 3-gun stage, and you've got your birdshot first, you have that on the side of your gun. As soon as you're done with those shells, you can rip it off and slap on the slug card, and then you can do your slug stage. So it's actually kind of really nice there. I gave it a 6.5, and that's actually a pretty low review for my standards. Typically, my average is probably around 8 if I like it, 7 if it's okay. There's some faults that I have with this that I think could be addressed, and so that's why I gave it a 6.5 as an okay, and here's why. I'm just going to hit the negatives first, because obviously the positives were already covered. That it's the price point is really good. They remain flat when not in use, so if you wanted to store this on your shotgun with no shells in it, I stress that, because in a couple minutes I'll tell you why. It stays flat, the elastic folds down, so when you want to shove this into your safe or into a bag or a gun case, it's not going to add the extra inch or so of thickness that a regular side saddle that's permanently attached would add. I gave it a negative because it doesn't include the loop side of the Velcro, so you got to find your own. So depending on your purpose, you may want industrial strength adhesive on the back of it. Really get some good stuff. What I got was just craft stuff from the craft store. I think it was Hobby Lobby. And I'm glad that I did so, because I found out one of the faults of this, and if I gotten a higher strength adhesive backing, it probably would have damaged my firearms finish. So here's one that's fully loaded. Can you notice that it's got a fairly
Bow.
peculiar bow in it? It's warping. Adding shells onto the card causes it to bow. If you leave this attached to your firearm, that bowing is applying outward force and trying to basically pull this off of your gun. Now, the hook and loops are pretty strong, and this bow isn't enough force to actually separate those bonds. But what it is strong enough to do is separate the adhesive from the Velcro itself, and that's what I found out. I had this. I knew I wanted to do a review, and this is kind of something that I had in the back of my mind, that I wonder how long is it going to stay on there. So I loaded it up with birdshot, not slugs. That would have been even more heavy. It wouldn't have took as long. But basically, I left this loaded up on the side of my Mossberg shotgun, and probably about a month went by, and I opened up my safe and noticed that this was sitting on the bottom of my safe. So I was like, oh, it fell off. That's weird. And then when I put my hand on my shotgun's receiver to pull it out, it was sticky. I'm thinking, well, that shouldn't be sticky. Ruh-roh. So I pulled that out, and sure enough, the adhesive layer from the Velcro was still on my receiver. However, both sides of the Velcro were stuck to the card. Lucky for me, that adhesive, actually, you just rub it with your thumb, and it starts to build up into just a large gunky clump. And you just kept doing it, and it didn't do a single thing to the parkerization. So that's actually really lucky, because I was afraid that it was going to damage that. So lesson learned: if you're going to run this and you only have access to cheap Velcro backing from the hobby store, do not leave this attached to your gun, because it will peel it off, and then you've got to basically reapply it. And the bummer part for me is, because of the receiver, I actually spent a little bit of time with a X-Acto knife and some tracing paper, and getting kind of arts and craftsy with it. But basically, I cut out that the backing exactly to fit the receiver without messing with like the forearm pump or anything like that. So the fact that it came off, I got to do that all over again. So I'm not sure if I will even bother to do that. I mean, it's kind of nice to have these, but I need to figure out like a better way to have this on there more permanently that's not going to kill the finish. So I think I'm actually going to send these to TJ because I think he's got a 3-gun coming up, and he was talking about side saddles, and I said, well, get some Velcro and try some of these out, and he was pretty interested. So we'll see what he has to say on that, how it helps him out.
Yeah, I've had one of those, and I ended up trying to just forfeiting it, putting it on my shotgun, and I just sewed some more of the other side of the hook and loop onto one of the jackets that I wear, and so I've got the different colors, just like you had mentioned. But yeah, you have to sew it on. There's no adhesive that's gonna really stick to cloth that well.
No.
Not even super glue. I tried it. It was a disaster.
Yeah, and that's not the fault of the product, because it doesn't come with adhesive style backing, so it's not making any kind of active suggestion of how you attach this. So that's just the least common or the easiest solution to me was, oh, I'll just adhesive stick this on the side of my gun. That's what everyone else says to do. If you were to sew this onto, like, if you had a jacket or a vest that you wore in competition, or maybe a shirt you didn't care about, it would do great there, because then you could just, you peel it off that, and then, or just actually strip the shells from it, and then when you're not, running from a stage, you just strip it off and then slap it back on the other one. But for the price point, it's really hard to beat, because, I mean, the Mesa Tacticals, like I said, are over $100, almost in the $200 range. The Tacstar cheapo ones that you mostly see at the gun shops in the tactical shotgun aisle, those are a little bit more affordable, probably in the $40 range, $50 range, and I've got one or two. The only problem is, I mean, they wear a little bit too, as far as the retention of the shells, and if you've got a pump action, they might actually interfere with your forearm pumping. And if you've got like an 870 Express, there's like a little tail at the end of the forearm that actually overlaps the receiver when you've made a full chuck. And so that actually gets in the way, and because though the backings of those are they're fixed, you can't move it back or forward or adjust it either way. The holes in the receiver are where it goes. So I've actually done quite a bit of like just Dremel off one extra loop from that, so it fits. But with these, you've got the flexibility of, if you're going to mount it on your gun, you can mount it a little bit backwards, so it's not interfering with your action or anything like that. So still a great product. It's just that in my particular experience, it kind of it failed, but it's not its fault. So I guess 6.5 isn't exactly fair, but at the same time, it's not like God handed me down this in a grand faction. They are what they are, and they've got their faults, but the principle and the concept behind them is really valuable to you if you are a 3-gun shooter, competitor, or a hunter, or just a mall ninja. There you go.
Absolutely, mall ninja.
Yeah, mall ninja. So if you want to go to skdtac.com, that's the website where you can get these. Great shipping from them. Good service all around. They've never really done anything wrong. They send stickers when they ship you something, and they've got like awesome little jokes on the back, like one of them's like a Chuck Norris joke. It's a good company. Yeah, so that's my review. So let's get right into the tech gadget or app, and actually this is called the Tracker Bravo. So it's basically without the E, so it's track and then a capital R. What it is, it's a little fob that is about the size of a quarter, a little thicker, and you can attach it anywhere, and it basically interfaces with your phone and your computer to track where that item is. So you'd attach this to your keys, maybe your pet's collar, a dog collar, your luggage, your purse, anything you don't want to lose that you lose a lot. You can actually put this on, and using your phone, you could use it to find it. Now, say you lost your phone, you could actually take one of these things, and it's got like a button. You press it, and it'll actually cause your phone to ring or make a sound. So it actually works both ways too. So if you lose your phone and your item with the tracker on it, then you're not screwed. As far as your phone goes, you're on your own devices there. But say your dog ran away and it had one of these on its collar, and obviously it's beyond the range of your phone as far as Bluetooth goes. Well, how these work is, as more and more people have them in the area, they're all kind of working like a cloud. So basically, when something's missing, and your neighbor has one of these, your dog runs by your neighbor's device actually can see your dog collar, the device on your dog's collar running, and if you've alerted the service saying, hey, my dog's run away, then it actually starts to ping around the area to find it, and then it'll send you an alert to say this is the last place that your dog was, picked up on our network. So that's kind of interesting. It's a little scary, but this isn't like Big Brother government stuff. This is just kind of more communal networking. So, put the tin hats away. There's no really need for them. This is just something that I could see useful in a more urban area. So they're just about finished with their Kickstarter. They're already shipping a bunch of these out. I think they've got just under 155,000 of these made and distributed already. So it's just two guys that are just kind of did a Kickstarter thing. So it's got a distance indicator showing how distant the distance between yourself and the item. It's got a crowd GPS, so when other users walk by the item, you're updated to its last location. So it's compatible with iPhone 4s or later, or 4S or later, iPad with Retina display or later, and Android 4.4 devices with Bluetooth 4.0. So you can customize your sticker tracker, including the sound it makes for alerts and more. And you can keep track of all your items on a single phone or tablet, up to 5 to 10 items simultaneously. And then the tracker lasts for 1 year on its easy-to-replace coin cell battery.
Yeah, just while you were discussing, I went and signed up for mine free. And the good news is there's only 75,084 people in front of me. So I'm in boarding group number 4, which, whatever that means it'll be a while. But I'm okay. It's going to be free.
It is kind of nice. I mean,
yeah, it looks cool.
I mean, you get one. So what's the deal? You get one for free. You like it enough to where then you come back and you buy one.
Yeah, you can buy them right now if you want. $24.95 plus $9.95 shipping and handling. And I guess like you can choose to just share it. I don't have Facebook or Twitter, but if I did, I would share it on there, and I would move ahead some groups. Like they would put me to the front of the line. I'd be able to cut in line. But fortunately for me, I don't have those things. And then if you want to buy it, they'll let you buy it, which is, duh. And if you want to pay free shipping, you get to jump ahead 2 groups. So basically, I think that I'll be the last person to ever get one.
It doesn't hurt, man. I'm signing up for one right now. Yeah. At least put it on my keys, because I'm always losing my keys. I mean, it's pretty upsetting. But I think, it just goes to show that you can sign up for it really quickly. You're just going to enter my... And then you got to choose your device. So I think you can't have one that's, works for both. You got to pick if you've got an iPhone 4 or Android or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that anyone who's lost their keys in the past definitely would like to have one of these. How it can relate to firearms, let's kind of talk briefly on that. I mean, you can always attach these or hide them inside firearms cases. So if for any reason someone's like, stolen the case, obviously you'd be able to track that. The chances that a thief is going to keep the firearm with the case, I don't know. If there's a way to like get this into, see, a quarter will fit inside of an AR-15 pistol grip, won't it? If you've got one of those plugs, I
Mm-hmm.
guess you could stuff it in there if you're really paranoid.
Yep. You
Yeah,
probably just
go ahead.
yeah. The options are kind of unlimited, like what you can do with it. But um, I guess like for my wife, for instance, if she's not carrying inside the waistband, she might sometimes carry in her purse because of her dress attire, and she doesn't get to carry her purse when she did work. She doesn't work anymore, but like into work, she couldn't take her purse everywhere with her because like there's money places. So if she needed to keep her pistol in her purse and her purse was stolen, she could easily track it.
Yeah.
Which that'd be a pretty crappy situation all the way around.
Yeah,
But she
it
could
would.
track it.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, as far as like you said, being able to stick it on anything. They've done this kind of thing before with like I've seen like with little stickable RFID tags, but that does not have the ability for networking. So if lose your something or someone stole it, and you can actually put in the app alert, I've lost this, I'm not in range for it, and then you start to get alerts of where that's going. That could be very useful in recovering your lost or stolen items. It's kind of like a LoJack for anything you have. That would also assist the law enforcement as well, and in where to look to get the thief and return your items. So go to the website. It's actually www.thetracker, so TheTracker.com. So I've already signed up for my free one. It's like 75,084 people ahead of me. What was your number? You muted yourself.
I was also 75,084, so apparently now I've been pushed back.
Oh yeah.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, there you go. Well, maybe we're just, I don't know.
Maybe they sent one out in the meantime.
Yeah, they're there. They're that quick. So they've got one out, and so you're technically 83 now, and I'm 84.
Yeah. I don't want to follow it on Twitter though, because that'd be silly.
Yeah, but make sure you check that out. That could be something I know everybody who has car keys could stand at least to have one free one. They're different colors. It looks like there's white ones, blue ones, black ones, yellow ones. I didn't get that option to choose a color. I don't think I'd really mind as long as it wasn't like, pink or purple or rainbow colored. Nothing personal. Just black or white would be, fit more for my style. So let's get right into the listener feedback. We have a 5-star review from Vintage Aficionado. And he said, Ryan and his various guests do a great job of keeping me apprised of firearms-related products. They do an excellent job of educating and informing me of new gadgets and tools, and they do it in an entertaining way. Great format. The host is wise to have others join him since no one person has the knowledge of all the firearms-related stuff that is out there. Great job, guys. Yeah, I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. And that's not great. It's better to know a lot about a little. I guess it depends, but I'm definitely the first one. I know a lot of stuff, a little bit about a lot of things firearms related. Not a lot about one specific thing. I'm not a 1911 expert. I'm not a AR-15 expert. I just know a little bit enough about each one to suit me or benefit me. So it's always great having guys like Glenn that have knowledge that I don't, obviously. So thanks for leaving that review. And of course, you are now entered in the giveaway for the Mick holster. You just gotta send me an email, across at firearmsradio.tv, and I'll get you set up to be entered into that giveaway. So don't let this guy, as flattering as he is, be the only one entered to win. Actually, I think there's might be a couple or a few entrants already. So make sure you leave those reviews and be entered to win. So in closing, make sure you listen to all the other podcasts on the Firearms Radio Network. The Off-Road podcast is a brand new one that just came out. If you're a little bit tired of firearms-related stuff, I don't know if it's possible, but maybe you are into off-roading as a secondary hobby. Maybe you're taking your off-road Jeep to get to your favorite outdoor shooting spot. This is the podcast for you. Listen to Greg Bakken from the Tactical Paradise podcast talk about off-roading and all sorts of gear and equipment that go with that. And then in wrapping up, send questions, comments, or feedback to podcast@firearmsinsider.tv or myself, once again, Cross at firearmsradio.tv. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv/iTunes, and be sure to visit the Firearms Insider website for more reviews and industry coverage. Thanks again, Glenn, for joining me and giving us a review.
My pleasure, man.
Yeah, it's always great to have you on, and you're always welcome. I think you've been on enough where you can't win any more stuff, so.
That's fine. I don't mind buying it.
Yeah. Right on, man. Well, have a great week. Shoot safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Sounds great, man. See you later.